Hi everyone. The history of chess goes back to around 1500 years ago when the game was developed in India. To me, it's amazing how this game has not only survived 1500 years, but it has only gained more popularity. One of the beauties of chess is how it actually resembles a real life battle. So in this video, we're going over 10 of these similarities, starting with pawns. Pawns in Hindi or some other languages such as Norwegian or Polish or Persian are known as soldiers or pedestrians. Soldiers are the first line of defense as in real life. In the beginning, they can move by two squares, resembling how soldiers have more freedom in their own side of a battlefield. And as they enter the enemy's territory, they have to move more cautiously in steps of one. They block each other, similar to how soldiers have their guards and block each other. They can attack each other diagonally, similar to how soldiers can attack each other using a sword or a spear. Pawns can't move backward, similar to how soldiers had to fight to either win or to die honorably. They couldn't choose that they were more comfortable at home and they would want to go back to their starting square. That would be seen as an act of cowardice and usually had the death punishment. So that's not an option, similar to real life. Pawns can be promoted to anything but kings. There are different stories about how the game of chess was developed. One story goes as one king of the Gupta dynasty in India was discussing with two of his wise men if life is more about luck and fate or if it's about will. So the king asks each of the wise men to come up with a game to support their ideas. The one supporting will and denying luck comes up with a game of chess. There is no definitive proof that this was how the game of chess was developed, but a lot of the stories are around a king's wise man coming up with a game of chess to present to the king. So it makes sense that the king is a unique piece in the game and there is no way for a pawn to get promoted all the way to the king. And another interesting thing is that other pieces cannot be promoted to anything higher than what they are because they're not of human nature. Rook, in other languages known as castle or tower, representing a building, and bishop in many languages such as Chinese, Armenian, and Persian known as elephant, or in Hindi called the camel, or the horse, they cannot be promoted. The most valuable piece in a game of chess is the queen. The original word for queen in Hindi is mantri, the equivalent of minister, basically called the most valuable piece of a game because this is the most important fighting piece of the king. In the opening principles of chess, it's a bad idea to use a queen so early on in the game, such as how black is playing here. It's similar to if one side in a real battle sends their best fighting piece early on when the battlefield is still super crowded. Castling in chess is similar to how in a real life battle the king finds safety behind a building represented by a rook and is guarded by three soldiers and usually one minor piece being a horse or a bishop being an elephant is a good defending asset. And if you keep your minister around your king as a defending piece, it's usually not a good use of your most skilled fighting force. It's not possible to castle when one of the squares that the king passes through is within the shooting range of one of the enemy's pieces. It's similar to if when the king is trying to find safety in their own building, there is an enemy piece that can attack the king. Kings are strong pieces. In the endgame, they're said to be at least as strong as a minor piece. For example, in this position, the king and a pawn is stronger than the side with the king and the rook. They are strong because they can move in all 8 different directions, showing that they are skilled fighters. But they only move one square at a time, showing that they are old and they're not as flexible and agile as they might have used to be. Kings can't be next to each other. So for example here, these moves are illegal. even though a position like this with so many pieces all next to each other is absolutely legal. The game could have been designed in a way that kings standing next to each other would have been possible, and the game could have been about, for example, the last man standing. But notice how this reality is reflected in chess. There is a saying in Persian that 10 monks can sleep on one rug, but 2 kings cannot fit in a whole country. These are some of the similarities I could think of and I found interesting. There are definitely more, and if you can think of additional ones, please write them down in the comments section. And I hope you enjoyed watching it. I really find it really interesting that a game that was developed so long ago has so many intelligent similarities to a real life situation. And that's all. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care and bye.